What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's I've been busy. I've been out here already working. Did a little time lapse. You guys will see that later on in the video. But I pretty much just hopped into it today. Just trying to get a lot of done. It's actually finally getting nice out here in Minnesota. Snow is finally starting to melt out there, which is freaking awesome. I was up on the roof of the garage yesterday shoveling snow. Which I'll insert that little clip here that I took. Did that yesterday. Was up there trying to get the snow off the roof because there was a lot of snow. It was really heavy. I just didn't feel good with it up there. And the car sitting in the garage. So got that done. Kind of was busy last weekend. Didn't really get out here to the garage. I went down and checked out a car show in Duluth. Dropped a couple clips of that here right now. And pretty much after the car show, I just came home and just hung out. I didn't really get anything done in the garage. But today I'm out here. And like I said, I've already been working. I've had a time lapse going for a little bit. And I figured, well, now I'm at a good point where I should grab the camera and kind of explain what I'm doing. So I've been trying to get all the suspension torqued on the car. And I apologize that heater's running. Actually, you know what? I'm going to turn that down right now. It's getting hot in here anyways. There we go. I think you probably hear me a little better. Anyways, so working on getting all the suspension torques so far. I've got the ball joints, got the nuts torqued on the ball joints. I got cotter pins put in, tie rod end that is tightened, cotter pinned. We're good to go there. I got the axle nuts torqued down. Good to go there. So now what I'm doing is I want to get all of the suspension arms, all the control arms, the bushing, the bolts go through the bushings, all of that torqued. And when I go to torque that stuff, I want the weight of the car on the bushings so that their memory is kind of, you know, at rest. So what I'm doing, since I don't have an alignment rack, I'm going to set this thing on. Went and grabbed those steelies out of the corner. So I'm just going to set this thing on 4 steelies. And in theory, hopefully, I guess I didn't look to actually see. Okay, yeah, it's not on the jack stands on the side anymore, so that should give me plenty of room to roll underneath the car and be able to hopefully get to pretty much all the bolts that I need to torque. So then it's probably not going to be fun, but at least I can get down there, get them all torqued up, and we can move on. I'm going to have to get this thing back on jack stands, at least pull the rear tires off next. And get back to bleeding the handbrake in here. That's gonna have to get bled. Don't mind this. Yeah. So I had a deal here for the window net. I didn't like the way I did it. It was bugging me. I said screw it, grabbed the grinder, lobbed it off, and then threw some primer back on here, which I just got dirt on. Good for me. But yeah, I ran out of, I don't have cobalt blue metallic paint right now, so I gotta get some. And look at this crap. I put tape on here to tape it off, and the tape took my clear coat off. That's annoying. That really annoying. But whatever. It is what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead, I got the one side done. I'm gonna go and get the other side set down on some steelies. I'm gonna get under this thing. I'm gonna start torquing bolts. We're gonna go back to a time lapse, and we're just gonna keep trying to get this thing done. And while I'm here, while I'm talking to you, and have your attention, we've got our little button kit for the CD7. So hopefully we should get to that today as well. Getting those pinned in, finding a place to mount them. Getting the dash put back together, cleaning up the interior, bolt this seat down, and just get this thing ready to go to a dyno. That's the ultimate goal, is basically get this thing to the point where we're comfortable getting it on the trailer, taking it down to the dyno, and trying to make some ponies. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and yeah, just watch this little time-lapse movie. See you in a bit. So got all the suspension torqued finally. That was not fun. It was kind of a pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie. It'd be really easy, like this is why like an alignment rack would be lit, because you know you can stand underneath it and the weight of the car is on the suspension. But I mean, this worked, having it sitting on steelies like this, but there's not a lot of room down there, so like you can't get leverage with the freaking torque wrench. And yeah, I don't know, I had to fight a lot of bolts. It took me a while, but got all the bolts torqued, front, back. Like I said earlier, the axle nuts are done, ball joints, cotter pins in the ball joints, and the tie rod end. All of the bolts on the front lower control arm, upper control arm, in front and rear, all of them are torqued. So we should be good there, which is good because I've been like procrastinating on doing that forever, and it's finally done. So that's a plus. I was going to set this thing back on jack stands so I could bleed the rear brakes, but to be honest, the way it's set up, I can still get to the bleeder screw on the back without having to remove the rear wheels. So I'm not really going to worry about that right now. I think I want to go back and start working in here. I think I want to fix up this dash and get my buttons for the CD7 installed, and then I can put the dash together. Get my seat, actually. I forget about this. Dang it, I need paint. I say I want to bolt the seat in, but I'm not going to try to spray paint that seat in. So that might not happen. Shit. Yeah, I need to pick up paint, but I don't really feel like running to the store right now to get paint, so we're not going to do that. The seat, I mean, we're not going to do that. I might do these buttons and then start cleaning up the interior, possibly, or at least get those buttons done, and then maybe jump over to getting that hydro handbrake bled, something or another. I don't know. Either way, we're gonna start these buttons. Executive decision. That's what we're doing right now. So, comes in this nice little fancy box. Here's the part number for anybody that needs it. 30-3610 button kit for your CD7. If you buy the flat one like me that doesn't have buttons on it, you need this. So not much to this thing. Basically this is it. I mean, it's two. Oh, come on. Why is it whenever you're recording something, like you think like everything's got to get stuck in a box? So they're just two momentary switches. So those just there's 4 wires, and they send you the pins. So you just pull up the wiring schematic, which I need to do still, and then you put these pins obviously on your wires, and then they just pin right into the back of the CD7 harness. So should be pretty freaking easy to do, but I gotta go and track down the schematic. So once I get the schematic, we'll get in the car and work on pinning this thing out. Yeah. I don't know what that noise was outside, but it was really, people are already spring fever, revving all their cars up. Anyways, back to this.
A few moments later.
Alright, so I went ahead and put the seat back in temporarily because sitting in here is a lot better than sitting on, like, kneeling or whatever, you know? So I gotta figure out where to put these buttons, and you know, they're not really that big, and originally I wanted to like put them here or something, or one on each side. The problem with doing that is, let's see if I can get this out of the way for a second. Come on, little bezel. Problem with that is, you can see, like, this is solid. You see how thick that is? I mean, there's no way that fits. So unfortunately, I cannot install my little momentary switches where I actually wanted to put them on the sides. So they're gonna have to go somewhere else. Now I was looking at options, like, you know, there's a guy on eBay. I don't know if he I'm assuming he probably, what's that called? 3D prints these things, possibly. I don't know how he makes them, but he makes a delete plate for your heater controls as well as your AC defrost and everything down here. Because obviously, you know, we don't have an HVAC box anymore, so what's the point in even having the HVAC controls in here? So I thought about just getting delete plates and putting the buttons there. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, I don't know how much it'll work, but then I gotta wait on parts, and I don't really want to wait on parts, so there's that. And I don't know. I don't know if it'll look tacky. I just, you know, I want it to look good. I want it to be clean. So my next idea here is if get the CD7 kind of in place briefly, temporarily. Bring this back up. And set that there. Or not. It's cool too. Too many wires and crap in the way. But my other thought here is to put them right here. One on this side and one on this side down here. Maybe. I kind of want to put this together so that I can actually, like, yeah, I'm going to put this together quick. And I'm going to take a look if that's even a feasible location to put these. So okay, so I got the buttons installed, and well, first, I mean, I did end up putting them here where I want them, or where I thought about putting them. The blue buttons off to the right a little bit. They kind of, it's whatever. I mean, obviously it's gonna bug me, but most people probably won't even notice it. But whatever. They're in there. Originally, I was just gonna like put them in, and hook them up to the harness on the back of this, and then I thought about it. I'm like, well, if I ever have to pull this gauge bezel off, if I ever have to pull this little frog eye thing out, the wires are going to be connected right to the harness, and I can't just disconnect this and pull it off. And I'm like, well, I don't like that at all. So I almost thought about putting them here, but then I didn't like that either because it's like a handbrake's right here. And not saying it would happen, but my luck, I'd start tapping buttons, you know. I didn't like it. So I'm like, well, I like this original idea of putting it here. I said, but I wonder if I have any Deutsch connectors left so that I can just put a connector in between it so I can pull this out if need be. And luckily, I had just enough Deutsch connectors and pins to make it happen. So they're wired in, they're hooked up. In theory now, if we take our little key and turn this thing on, the CD7 should power on. Let me give it, I don't know why my blinker's on. Well, that's annoying. Let me turn this light off, maybe it'd be easier to see. Alright, so here we've got our dash, and I should be able to page up. Or not. Maybe it's the other button. Well, that's annoying. So they don't work. Good for me.
This guy sucks.
I don't get why they don't work. Why can't anything ever just go right? You know what I mean? Like, come on. Seriously? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why it wouldn't... They're just momentary switches. So, like, I stared at the schematic. Like, come on. Nothing wants to work. I don't know why my blinker's being stupid. Oh. Probably have the hazards on. I have a habit of hitting that button by accident. Anyway, so here's the schematic, and looking at this thing, I mean, you've got your four, I don't know what that purple's supposed to mean here, beacon, because there's no violet, but you got like NA spare 2, NA spare 1, and that was the only 4, like, spots in the back of the connector that were open. So like I just figured blue and spare 2, and then yellow and spare 1. I mean, that's the way I did it. Right here, I mean, yellow and blue got to be, they're in the right spot. Blue's supposed to be page up. The other two, I don't understand. This schematic is like terrible. I don't like it. I really don't like it. Well, I guess now I'm gonna, I don't know, dig into this and figure out why the heck this thing doesn't work. Great. I just wanted to move on to the next thing, and you never can. You know what? I might just even crack one of these in the meantime. But I'm gonna figure this out and I'll get back to you guys. Okay guys, so who caught it? Did any of you catch it? There's a reason why the buttons didn't work, and if anybody was paying attention, unlike me, you probably caught it. I'm gonna show you the schematic again if you didn't catch it, and then maybe you can figure out.
Benjamin.
I'm legitimately not a fan of GoPro batteries. Like, are you kidding me? I've gone through 2 today just trying to film this video. Anyways, as I was saying, there's something that I looked over and, well, I didn't look over. I was just, I don't know, not paying attention, I guess. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe you guys caught it, maybe you didn't. Either way, I'm going to show you the schematic right now. If you didn't catch it, maybe you'll see what I did wrong now. But here's the schematic. Okay, so we're looking at, we got a blue button and yellow button. So we're looking at blue, which is page up, yellow, reset. So here is blue and yellow right here. You guys see it? You guys, does anybody know what I did wrong? Because I shut the camera off to figure out what I did wrong, and I went back and looked at the schematic, and as I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm an idiot. The 2 additional wires, it's a momentary switch, right? So, one wire goes to the CD7. The other wire, according to the schematic, goes to ground, not back to the CD7. I don't know what I was thinking. I did it all wrong. Whatever. I admit my fault. Hopefully somebody caught that. But yeah, I didn't ground the switches. So now the switches are grounded. It should work in theory. So we're gonna fire it back on and see if it works. All right, here we go. Attempt, what, 2, 3, 2, technically, I guess. So we're powered up. CD7 is on. Now the blue button is my page button right here, wherever my finger is, right here. There's the blue button. That should run us through our pages. Ooh, page 2. Page 3. And as you can see, we have some CAN data coming in there. We'll get oil pressure, -13, fuel pressures, negative. Our battery voltage, 12.5, which is good to see. AFRs, coolant temps at 59 degrees, which is probably the temp of the garage right now. Ethanol percent. Ignition timing. Oil temp 150. Sheesh. So I hit it again here. Should bring us back to our home page. There we go. That works. Yellow buttons reset. I'm assuming that has to do for like time attack and stuff. Maybe. I don't know. I'll read into that. All I know is the biggest thing is I wanted to be able to, cycle through the pages here. So that's the big thing, which we can now do. So that's a win, which is great. Got that done. One more thing checked off the list. I swear it's like you think you're gonna get everything done in one day, and I've literally been out here since noon, and I don't even know what time it is. Like 6 o'clock or something. Okay, I'm wrong. It is 7. I've been on here 7 hours working on this car today. But I've gotten a lot of things done. I mean, a lot of small stuff, but that's all that's left on this thing. It's just small, piddly crap. You know, it just takes forever. I mean, suspension's torqued. CD7 buttons are installed. Lobbed off my, whatever, freaking stupid safety net thingy because I didn't like it. It was in the way every time I got in. It was just annoying. I want to redo it eventually someday. I don't even care right now. That thing's actually expired. I don't even know why I bought it. I clearly thought I was going to be driving this car last year and it didn't happen, so whatever. I mean, it is what it is. So, but yeah, that's off of there. I think what I'm going to do, obviously I want to throw some blue paint back on that, but to like cover this crap up, a lot of times on these cages you see they'll put that like carbon fiber like sticky whatever protector on here, so when you get in and out, you're not like wearing off your paint every single time. So I think I'm gonna order that and get that put on here, just to kind of make that better. Yeah, I don't know. So that thing's basically buttoned up for now. I mean, it's not, I don't have all the screws in, because eventually I'll probably like customize the dash a little bit more, but for now, for tuning purposes, it's good to go. The whole mess over there needs to get cleaned up. This seat, once I get this figured out, cleaned up, seat needs to get bolted in. And then basically I just need to clean out the interior of the car. I was gonna put the cowl pieces on here, or on the steering column, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wait on all of that, because this thing needs to come off. I have an aftermarket steering wheel, a really nice one's actually limited edition, and I'd like to get that in there, but I need to order like a quick release and a hub to get it in, so I'm kind of dragging my feet on that. Yeah, basically get that done. Pretty much everything else, other than needing to cut a hole in the hood, which I just picked up because I like had to go buy a new grinding wheel because mine was like shot, and I picked up some cutting discs too so that I can get this hood taken off here. I got to mark the hole obviously and figure out where I need to cut this thing, and then I can cut the hole off this, or cut the hole in this. What are words? Anyways, yeah, I get the hole cut in that, and then the biggest thing after that is just firing this thing back up again. Make sure that the alternator is charging. Let's go over everything one more time. We're basically dyno bound. I just gotta make a dyno appointment. We're getting real close to that point. I definitely want a couple more days out here working on this thing to button things up. I just want to make sure everything is like good to go and I'm comfortable, you know, before I make that appointment. And then last minute scrambling. I don't want to have to do that last minute scrambling shit. So, I need to order a shift knob too. Yeah. I didn't get around to bleeding those rear brakes today. It's whatever. I probably could do it right now, but like it's after 7 and I haven't eaten dinner and I'm hungry and I want to eat some food. So I'm going to go do that. So yeah, hopefully this video has been somewhat entertaining. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. And actually, I don't even know if this is Sunday and Monday. I don't even know what time. Today is Saturday. I don't know when I'll get this video up. I'm hopefully edit it tomorrow and get it up right away, but we'll see what happens. Either way, hope you guys are all doing well. You know, drop a like, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Peace.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say. I need a break.